Jai Hind, dear students. Today we will going to discuss about a new chapter, that is chapter number 1 of new NCERT natural resources and their use of class 8th. Now before we begin, what is a natural resource? As you know that what we see in the nature like water, forest, soil, animals, these all are the parts of natural resources. Now what we see in our nature, we see water, we see forest, soil, animals. So nature is what? Nature is the totality of life and non-life forms that are part of our environment but have not been created by humans. So this is the perfect example of natural resources. Now next topic is, when does nature become a resource? As we know, when humans use nature's element for their subsistence or to create new things from them for self-consumption, these elements of nature become resources. So we can say that when someone is consumption for their self-consumption, we are using the nature's resource, then that particular thing will become the perfect example of a resource. For example, trees are the parts of the environment, but when we make furniture from them, we see them as a resource. And one more thing, to use nature as a resource, three things we need to be understand. First one is, resource should be technological accessible. Means technology should be there to access or extract that particular resource. Second point, resources should be economically feasible. Means it should be giving some sort of profit, generating accounting to the GDP and so on. Third point is, resources should be culturally acceptable. This means that it should be culturally acceptable, related to their morality, values of the people living in that particular state. Now, classification of natural resources. We have classified resources or natural resources on two bases. First is on the basis of use, second one is on the basis of renewability. So on the basis of use, we have categorized them into another three subcategories. First one is resources essential for life. Now these contains those resources that are essential for life, that is air, water, food, and etc. Resources for materials means we are using that particular resource as a material, like chair. So wood is a resource and we are wood is a natural resource and we are making it as a essential material, or we are using it as a material. Third one is resources for energy. This contains resources that can be used to create energy, like coal, petroleum, natural gas. So these all are the examples of natural resource. Now, another one is the classification on the basis of renewability. What is renewability? Renewability is the ability of nature to restore and regenerate resources so that they can be used again and again without running out. Now, in this subcategory, we have again classified them into renewable resource, and second one is non-renewable resources. Now, what is a renewable resource? So resources that naturally replenish or regenerate over time in nature are called renewable resources. For example, solar energy, wind, tidal, forest. These are the example of renewable resources. Next one is your non-renewable resources. Resources which take very long time to form and once depleted cannot be replaced quickly are called non-renewable resources, like again coal, petroleum, and natural gas. Next topic is disadvantages of natural resources. As you know, earth resources are unevenly distributed and thus influencing human life, trade, and international and state relations. For example, the recent conflict that is going on is one of the best example that how the resources are unevenly distributed, and that's why these circumstances happening in the present time. Your NCRT also mentioned about the Kaveri River dispute that saw Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Puducherry negotiating water sharing rights for agriculture and daily needs. So these are the some of the examples regarding the disadvantage of natural resources. Now, what is a natural resource curse? Natural resource curse, also called the paradox of plenty. Now, for example, if a country is having more resource, That doesn't mean that particular country is rich or developed, because the countries which have more resources actually have slower economic growth. This happens because having resources is beneficial only when they are used properly to make valuable products. So skills should be there, technology should be there, you should be able to use that particular resource, and that's why this is the paradox of plenty. This is also known as the natural resource curse. Now, these are the major reasons of natural resource curse. As you can see, overdependence, country relies too much on one resource, ignore another, other industries, corruption, conflict, economic imbalance. These are the reasons for the natural resource curse. Before moving to the International Solar Alliance, there is one more topic in your NCRT about the stewardship. Now, what is a stewardship? Responsible and wise use of natural resource, that is termed as stewardship. So stewardship means taking care of natural resources so that they can be restored, regenerated, and used wisely. Now, as we have understood the importance of natural resources, we need to understand that we need to take a shift from the non-renewable resources toward the renewable resources, because over exploitation of resources thus will going to lead to different factors that will be harming the environment. And here one of the important step that the Indian government has taken, India and France has launched the International Alliance for Solar Energy in 2015. It was started as an initiative of the Indian government solely first. Its aim is to promote the maximum use of solar energy so that clean and affordable energy can be made available worldwide. For example, in India, Rajasthan's the Bhadla Solar Park, it is the largest solar park in the world, producing thousands of megawatts of energy. So this is the symbol of India's solar ambitions. And we need to shift toward these safer practices that will not going to harm the environment. So that's all from this particular chapter. You can also visit the case studies present in your textbook, like you can also read the Punjab case study. Another one is related to the Sikkims, and these two different case studies show the advantages and disadvantages of the natural resources and how we can shift or take the green step toward saving the environment. That is stewardship that we are talking about, how we can incorporate in our present life, in our present form, so that harm should not be there with regard to the natural resources. That's all. Thank you for watching.